Hey guys, it's Ben. How's it going? Merry Christmas to you. I know I'm a little late, but Happy New Year to you if you're watching this before the new year, and it will always be before a new year at some point. Anyway, thanks for all the comments of encouragement. I appreciate every single one of them. I try to get to them all. I'm sorry if I'm not getting to yours. I just had no idea how many comments I'd be getting. I had no idea how many people would be commenting and encouraging me and stuff like that. And we like to give a little bit back, or at least I do, and the community out here is very helpful. I see in the comments, and this is what I like about this community, is people are always willing to offer an answer, especially since I don't have all the answers. In fact, I'm probably have less answers than you do. I'm just kind of sharing stuff that I'm coming across as I come across it, right? I was having a problem with my bowel movements, and one of the comments was from Hot Lottie, and she suggested that I get some magnesium for that. Well, I went out and did on, Amazon, like I always do, magnesium complex 500 milligrams. I don't know if this is the right stuff. If you have a better thing to take, then that's what I'll do. This, I have to take 2 of these 500 milligram tablets, once in the morning and once at night is what the label says. So that's what I'm going to do unless I hear otherwise, and hopefully that helps the BM situation. I just started them 2 days ago, so it's too early to tell. Sorry, nose is itching. So thank you very much for that suggestion. Like I said earlier, I like to really help out when I can, and this is something that I think I'm getting right, but I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, so you always have to ask your doctor. Don't ever take advice from me or anybody else on the internet, but probably especially from me, because I get crap wrong all the time. We're gonna get into that in a minute too. But Amy Freeze says, is it normal to keep going up in milligrams? She sees a lot of people doing that. Yes, that's normal. 2.5, this is the way it's explained to me, and this is what I'm able to get confirmed so far from the medical. The rest, I'll let you know when that happens, is going to be speculation on my part. But the 2.5 milligram dose is an introductory dose, kind of. They like to keep you on that for at least a month to see if your body is going to accept it, right? Some people don't accept it very well because everybody's different, right? Everything affects everybody differently. That's who we are. So they have to make sure that it's not going to like send you into shock or something. I don't know what if you were to go straight to a huge dose, I don't know what the situation would be, but I'm sure that whatever the side effects are, they're intensified the bigger the dose. So they start you out on a 2.5 to see how you tolerate the drug in the first place and make sure that, you're not going to have any adverse effects to it. And then in my case, I just moved up 2 weeks ago to the 5 milligram dose. Moved up to the 5 milligram dose, and it's been amazing. In fact, I was supposed to put a vlog out yesterday, and I didn't do it because I thought I would delay it one day because I was absolutely still not having an appetite by Thursday. And when I was on the 2.5 milligram, by Thursday, I was ready to eat. But anyway, that's what I think. Well, that's what I've been able to confirm through my doctor is 2.5 is kind of some people call it a loading dose, just to get your body like tempered to the drug itself. And then you go up to 5 in my case, and you see how that works for you. And in my case, I can tell you that the first month on the 2.5, the first 3 weeks, I dropped pretty good in my blood sugar, and that's what I'm doing it for mostly. I'm also now doing it for weight loss. But my blood sugar started dropping pretty good, and then by that 4th and 5th week, not so much, right? So then my doctor upped my dose from 2.5 to 5 milligrams, and here we are the 2nd week of 5 milligrams, and I got great news to report. My blood sugar is incredible this week, you guys. Let me just get it out there. The big result of the day, I can say that with some confidence. It's going to be over the weight, I think. Now, when I first started this thing, my blood sugar was 474. My blood sugar high this week was 100. My blood sugar low this week was 90. So my blood sugar all week has been between 90 and 100. So, yes, that's right. My high was 100. and my blood sugar low was 90. So between 90 and 100, I'll accept those numbers any day of the week. You'll remember my blood sugar average last week was 104.6. I was incredibly happy with that. This week, my blood sugar average, 94.3. That's all, just 94.3. I'm under 100, and that was my end goal with my blood sugar. I'm at 94.3. I'm good. I hope it doesn't go down too much more, but I will tell you something. I'm going to monitor my blood sugar numbers very, very studiously from now on. And if I see any going up, like 110, 120s, when I know it should be between 90 and 100, I'll probably need to go up another dose. I hope that answers your question. Anyway, so how about that? Another 10.3 down on the blood sugar glucose levels this week. I'm thrilled. So guys, you'll remember last week I had lost 4 pounds and I got down to 178.2. I started Mounjaro when I was 185, and a lot of people are telling me, you know, you weren't really that overweight, hardly at all. Yes, I was, but you guys don't know the full story. Is I started losing weight last June on my own, and I started out around 225, 230. So I was getting up there. As far as it goes for me, that's the heaviest I've ever been in my life. 230 was a lot for me. And now I'm down to 185. I am feeling bad. I got down to 185, I should say. And then they put me on this Mounjaro. Anyway, like I said, I started out around 225, 230. I lost 40 pounds on my own, down to 185, and then I started this drug. Since then, I've been monitoring my weight, since people are very interested in how it does with weight loss. I've always had a very hard problem. In fact, I've probably been down here at 185 area, probably about two months before I started this drug. And I just couldn't lose anymore. It just didn't seem anything was working. So I was hopeful that this would get me the rest of the way. And last week I lost 4 pounds. So let's see how I'm doing this week with the weight loss and if I've lost anything at all. I gotta tell you though, those blood sugar numbers, I'm not gonna be too disappointed. So everybody at home, drum roll please. Here we go. Onto the scale. We are 174.4. Yeah, 174.4. That's 3.8 pounds. That's another almost 4 pounds. So that's like almost 8 pounds in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna take those numbers. Now I'm feeling better too. My shirts are much looser than they were. Feeling fantastic. Really I am, it's great. So like I was saying earlier, some of the comments in the video, the vlogs that I'm doing have led me down some rabbit holes on the interwebs, and very interesting in fact. And I'm finding out a lot of the things, and I'll bet you guys are too these days, a lot of the things that you learned like when you were in grade school, maybe especially for me because I'm nearing 60 years old, so my education is old. And you just, when you learn something, you just think that's the way it is forever, right? And you just never think to look anywhere beyond that. At least I didn't, right? We've kind of discussed where my weight is, and a lot of people at this point in my weight would say, you're not overweight. People tell me that too. And when I know for a fact that I am, right? I'll take this shirt off and prove it to you, but I wouldn't want to scare you, right? 174.4 pounds. I haven't weighed that little in so long, I can barely remember. I'm 60 years old now. I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life, at least in my later life, right? After 40, pretty soon. And maybe I'll even get in better shape than I was when I was in 40. Because to be honest with you, when I was 40, I wasn't in very good shape. I was probably should have been. I was in the military, but you know how that goes. When you first get in the military, you're in the best shape of your life. At least I was. I was in the best shape of my life those first couple of years. And then they promoted me and put me at a desk. And I started eating donuts and stuff and started putting on those pounds and losing interest in, maintaining that physique because I didn't have anything to prove anymore. And before you knew it, I was overweight. I wasn't so overweight that I was on the Fat Boy program, and that's what they call it in the military, the Fat Boy program. At least that's what they used to call it. I know they've probably sensitized that since then. It's been a couple of years since I've been in anyway. And you didn't want to be on that program because it affected your promotion and all kinds of stuff. So I was always one of those guys that was just below that. I've always struggled with my weight back then, right? And when I was in school, when I was a kid, they taught you, right? Your weight is your choice, because that's what they were telling me when I was in grade school. My teachers were. I didn't understand why I was the chubby kid and I was wearing Huskies, right? When all my other friends were normal sized kids, we ate the same exact thing, right down to the apple, the same exact thing. But I was always like on the chunky side, right? And it was my fault, according to my teachers in science and stuff back then. It's like, if you're overweight, it's because you're eating too much, right? And I held that belief with me for so many years, just until you guys sending me down these rabbit holes, right? One comment that I got was, "Hey Ben, have you looked into the all meat diet?" Yeah, I looked into that. Of course I did. I looked into that. My problem is, and my problem has always been, I need to find something that's sustainable, right? Me restricting my diet in that manner that's not sustainable for me. I already know me, right? So I need to come up with something that works for me, right? And what that's something that I've come up with, and I've changed my lifestyle, and it's still changing, right? I mentioned that I started at 225, 230 pounds back in June, and then I quit drinking, and I lost a bunch of weight. I got down to 185, 190, and that's where I kind of plateaued. And then this Mounjaro is helping me get down the rest of the way. So guys, please keep the comments coming. I really appreciate them. Even the ones that I may not adopt, right? Maybe I'm not going to choose to go to the all meat diet, probably, for reasons that I kind of already went into a little bit. Sustainability being the biggest thing. I've got to be able to sustain something. And I have been making lifestyle changes. This drug is not a miracle drug. I've seen people call it a miracle drug. It's not a miracle drug. You'll lose weight on this drug, no doubt, but you won't be able to keep it off if you have any intention at all to come off this drug, right? If you have intentions to come off this drug, you need to start making lifestyle changes, right? You can't count on this drug to do it for you. And I'm trying my best to make those lifestyle changes, right? But I know me. Life ain't gonna be worth living, right? I've tried this before. I've been through the diets and everything, right? I cannot, right, be on a restrictive diet like that. What I can do, though, and what I'm teaching myself to do now, is make my portions a little bit smaller. I've learned a lot on the internet, and I used to think that being overweight was my fault, even though I'd see the other kids, how skinny they were and what they were eating. I was eating the same damn thing, but I was putting on weight. And I'd even cut out the sugar and the candy and stuff because my mom said that's why I was overweight. My grandma told me I was just husky, God bless her, but I was fat. Let's face facts. Back then I was a fat kid, right? And it just didn't seem right to me. Well, lately, all these years later, I'm almost 60, by the way. All these years later, I'm finding out that yes, it is true that you need to lose weight by expelling more or spending more calories than you're taking in. That part is true. But what they didn't teach you was everything else, all the body chemistry and biology that went into it, right? Like some people their brain may not be getting notified that they should stop eating because they were full. And that's something like the diabetes. It's insidious. You just never feel it coming, right, until it's already there. That's how I found out that I had diabetes, not till it was already there. Some people get lucky and get that, hey, you're pre-diabetic. And to you people out there that are pre-diabetic, you better start watching it right now, because I'm telling you, eventually you're going to be diabetic. Because that was me for a long time, pre-diabetic. You gotta watch what you eat, and I didn't listen, and here I am. But anyway, you guys, I'm just saying, I lost my train of thought again, so I'm just gonna sign off. And I know it's a day late, and it'll be a day late next week, so the new day will be Saturday, so it won't be a day late then. So we'll see you next Saturday for this week's update, week 9, I guess. Amazing. I'm gonna take another 5 milligram dose, and if you want to see me take it, I'm gonna take it in the stomach again. You can go watch one of my other videos. I do it in all those ones. I'm not gonna do it in this one. I'm just gonna not show you the belly until after it's done cooking. All right, guys. So that's it. I am going to leave you with a little military debrief, New Year's debrief, to tell you, please don't get thrown in jail over the New Year's holiday. And if you do get thrown in jail, establish dominance early and firmly. Aggressive force of action, become the dominant one early, otherwise you'll be paying the price. I'm just joking. You guys have a good New Year's, and we'll see you next week.